Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. Hello, 12B Georgia. How you doing? You are my single person at this moment. You should be honored for that title. This isn't going to be a long live stream. It's going to be a clarification live stream of some stuff that I've been questioned about, and I just want to clear it up a little bit. Uh, all smiles. How are you? Trump said what? Big Dog, how you doing? Let's see. We got Forsakes alive. How you doing? C is here. Good to see you. Black Spring with Autumn. Hello, dear. How are you? Let's see. Linda Horner, Eldon Gomez, Nancy Rubuck, Malo Fuentes. Good evening. Good evening, Guy Myers. Wow, we're getting a good crowd. Dangerous Freedom hit the house. Jubney 7. Good to see you. Sure. 7318. Cheryl Capone. Margot's in the house. We now may start. All right. So, hello, Fred. All right. So, first thing, I mentioned in a walk around video that the president is rumored to speak today. I got another possibility of that. Margot sent me something from Newsmax saying that he'll be on tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. So that rumor may not be a rumor after that time. We'll just have to see. He's being kind of blocked from every direction, so it's kind of hard. Greetings from Indianapolis. How are you? All right. So next thing here, I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but the FBI is warning that there will be armed protests at all of the state capitals on the, I guess they're saying the 16th through the 20th. That, if you start listening to the FBI now, you have some kind of issue going on. White Wings over there on D Live, how are you doing? Do not listen to the FBI. The FBI is still rogue. They are not our friends. We've got to stop this. And I titled this, "It's a Trap, Stand Down." It is not necessary for the Patriots to go armed anywhere right now. This is a tit for tat game, and right now they have the tit. It's up to us to prevent the tat. So we need to resist the urge to go to the state capitals to protest at all, because it is a trap. It's the Antifa will be there. They'll be dressed up as Trump supporters, and they will try to instigate a fight so that they can continue this narrative of the Trump supporters are psycho freaks that are wanting to burn down the country. They got away with it the first time at the Capitol. It's been debunked quite aggressively by the Patriots, but as soon as the information came out countering their narrative, they just shut down all of the media services, all of the alternative media. So if you think that they're done, you're wrong. They're going to do this with the state capitals. They're going to bring their Antifa people in. I've got confirmation that Antifa is already here in Florida in more than one location. They're already starting little spats, but they are going to be at these state capitals. They are going to be the ones that are going to potentially fire shots. If you fire at the National Guard, the rules of combat, the rules of engagement specifically say that if you are shot at, you can return fire. So if somebody shoots at the National Guard or the regular army or anybody, you will be shot back. Just to be clear, there is no reason at this point for us to be going anywhere near the state capitals. This thing is not done yet. It's not going to be completed the way the deep state believes it is, and you guys have to maintain some faith in that there's still a process taking place, and everything that you're hearing about the left is going to do this and the left is going to do that, you got to relax and step back and just take a breath. because they're trying to set us up right now, and I don't want you guys to fall for it. Right now, the concentration needs to be you get your food, your water, your preps for a potential power outage. You get all those things that you need to take care of you and your family at home. There is no call to arms right now. There's no need to show your hand. They're going to try to use this thing in the state capitals as a catalyst to launch a gun confiscation. They don't have the backing to do it, but that's not the point. If we do something stupid at this point and we lose favor with the populace that are still mildly sleeping, and there are many of them, no matter what truths you hit them with, they still want to argue with you because the media told them otherwise. We can't play into this hand. So everybody needs to avoid these armed protests at all costs. Don't let them draw us into a trap. Take care of you and your family. Have a barbecue. Enjoy yourselves. Drink some beer. When it's time to go, if it reaches that point, it won't be told to you by the FBI. It's not going to be suggested by the Democrats. The people will know when it's time. And right now, it isn't time. It's just not. We got to chill. Let things work out. Now, it leads me into the next thing I wanted to talk about is a post that was put down earlier this morning that says the term of President Trump ended on 1/11/2021 at 19:39 hours, and I'm being asked about that, and there's an explanation for it, but it's a little bit tricky. You have to understand the original establishment of this country before you really understand what that means. And also you have to realize that at 17:39 hours it was listed as already happened. So the first thing is that it was probably done, and it was done by him overseas. That's just an assumption there, but you don't usually talk about a time of day that hasn't approached yet in the past tense. So it tells me that he's not in our time zone. So that's deduction. The other thing is the presidency of Donald Trump ended on the 11th, on today, but it's because the corporation of the United States, now the way I gather it, the way I'm putting this together, the corporation of the United States has been dissolved. So we are at this moment in the original constitutional law that was established prior to 1871. So when all of this dust settles, there will be a transition of a new administration, and that new administration will be reconstructed under the original constitutional law. Some entities within government will no longer exist because they're unconstitutional, and they don't have to dissolve them. They just write them off. They're done. There are amendments that were removed when they did the act in 1871, and there were amendments that were added. None of those were ratified. They basically just put them there because they were taking over the country under a corporation. So those will be gone. Everything will be put back to the original text of the Constitution, which also means that the act that brought us the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, that was a amendment that wasn't ratified as well. So it's entirely possible that amendment will be just trashed. It'll be gone away. So, Mrs. Preacher, how you doing? So, anyway, there are going to be some unusual things happening because we're moving towards NASARA right now, and that is NASARA. If you don't know what NASARA is, it behooves you to go research it at this point, understand what it is, because there's an awful lot to it. And what it means in a nutshell is that we are going to be fixing a broken nation. We are getting away from the corporate structure that was created. We're getting away from the rule of law that puts us under maritime law and under the rule of the queen. We're going back to constitutional law. So it's very simple. If it isn't constitutional, you can't be tried for it for whatever. It can't be you versus the state, because the state is not an entity. It's not a person. The when you break a law under constitutional law, you have to injure a party, or you have to steal, basically. So if those can't be met in the indictment, then they can't prosecute you for it. Thank you for the diamonds and the ice cream. Appreciate you folks for dropping those over there on D Live. But anyway, I hope the president speaks tonight at 9 o'clock. But I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. Right now, the operations that are going on. Southern Grain, how are you? The operations are still in the classified state. They have to do as much of this as they can without alarming the public. When the president comes on to speak, it's going to be ho-hum la-di-da, and everything's going to appear normal, which is fine. Killer Whale Channel, how are you? Good to see you. You come on so late at night. You guys got to check out Killer Whale. So if you haven't checked, grab his channel and go give him a visit. But anyway, so it's going to be a fairly neutral address, I'm guessing, because they don't have everything moving at the rate that they're ready to release it to the public. So don't get too overwhelmed with excitement waiting for him to blast some serious nuclear bombs down on people. That's coming. But right now, we need to do stuff kind of quietly. Now, the signing of the Insurrection Act it's basically been confirmed across the board. That one is, the people are losing their ability to question that one, because some very credible sources are letting it be known, and also the language that's being used, especially by Pompeo, sounds an awful lot like we are running in the Insurrection Act. So, all reliable, how are you? So those are the few things that are going on right now. But just understand that you need to be a little cautious of what you're reading out here. If you read it and the hair stands up on your back of your neck a little bit, then go research it and make sure it's what you think it is. Mrs. PTP, how are you? Other than that, I already did a walk around video today. I explained that I've had some people come up here and call me a liar and stuff like that, and it's one of those under the category of whatever. I understand there are people that can't accept things no matter how it's pointed out to them, and I just ask that if somebody is going to call me a liar, it's all good. I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm not going to cry, but hit me with a counter argument. Give me something else that you see so that we can maybe come to the center, because that's the key. If we all get our information and then we filter out the bullshit, then we usually come out with a pretty solid piece of document to work with. Stoney, appreciate that diamond, brother. Anyway, went to ground weeks ago. Yeah, we're all being stomped into the ground. Just kidding. So I guess I don't want to be on here long. I just wanted to get these things brought to your attention, but you really need to take some time and study NASARA. It's NASARA, and also GESARA. One of the good sources for that is the Beach Broadcast. Her other channel is Santa Surfing Beach Broadcast. She does pretty well in explaining NASARA and GESARA. But if you don't mind reading and you get your information better that way, then I would look it up on the interwebs and see what's going on there. Why am I not a mod? Oh, I don't know. Let's see how we can do that. All right, let's see now. Don't gotta cry about it, saddlebags. There, you're a mod. Stoney, he's over there whining and crying over there. I pity him. I just gave him the mod. But there, you're a mod. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Margot says, hey.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so anybody have anything for me? I am Filipina. Please do connect with me. I will do the same. Thanks. Malo Fuentes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind people networking on my chat. If you want to connect together, that's great. Build your channels up. That's cool. It's all about growth. We'll just see how it works. The salt must flow. Yes. Salty cracker. All right. So anybody have any questions for me? Otherwise, I'm going to cut this thing off. Like I said, I want to do these quick because information's hitting hot and heavy all day long. And it doesn't do me any good to sit here and yap for an hour when I'm probably missing 2 or 3 things that are happening right now. One of your sources is crazy. I understand that, Preacher. I've been assuming that for a very long time. Mrs. Preacher, we love you back. Appreciate you. Will Trump pull out of this? Yes. Okay, let's go into, just for a minute, I'll explain something else that's going to happen. Under the original Constitution, the inauguration date was not January 20th. So that date was established under the Corporation of the United States. The original inauguration period was the early part of March. So when all of the major dust settles and the Declaration of Nasera has been enacted, then the 160 days from that point will be another election. It'll be an absolutely secure election based on ID cards and no bullshit. If you're not a citizen of this country, you're not voting for our new government. If you have a legal restriction that prevents you from voting, you will not be voting for the next government, period. It's going to be a legal, across the board, straight up election, and it will be 160 days after the Declaration of Nasera. At that time, we will be implementing a thing called GESERA, and it's global as opposed to national. And with GESERA, we are going to be bringing the entire world under the umbrella of the new goals for humanity, the new way of existence for us. And when that happens, there will be a global ambassador that will be assigned to help implement GESERA internationally. And right, Sith Lord. But it is possible that when we get our new government in 160 days after Nasera is declared, that President Trump would be elevated to global ambassador, and he would help to bring other nations under GESERA. And at that time, we would have a new president. But what's going to happen is if there is going to be a new president running in the 160 days, they would be announced pretty early. And it would be up to the people to pick or reject that person. There won't be any more selection without election. But anyway, so things are going to look very unusual. They're going to feel weird. We've never seen anything like this before. It's the way we should be living. But it was basically humanity, and comfort was all stolen from us in 1871. And we've been products of a corporation. We've been merchandise for a global cabal that makes money on every single one of us. And those tables will be turned. Will Biden and the swamp creatures pay for their evil deeds? Yes. A lot of the arrests that are going on right now, you're never going to hear about. But, well, I can't say you'll never hear about them. You'll hear about this stuff, but it will be after everything's said and done. But the big arrests, the ones that they're going to put in the face of the American people are going to be done in a grand scale, so that there's no doubt. Yes, this does sound like NWO. No, the the problem is that the left has something to counter every time. Every time there's something good suggested, the left tries to corrupt it. So what they're calling is a great reset. That's their language. And in their language, it puts humanity under the thumb, absolute control of a very small number of people. Jacera and Nessera release humanity from the bondage of debt, from the corrupt system, and it will release medical treatments that have been hidden from the people, inventions that will make your life more functional, uh, things like electricity, endless power, wide open internet, all of these things that are being completely withheld from us for the benefit of a very few people on the planet. They're all going to be released. So don't let the Great Reset and Nasera end up getting blended together, because they're two different beasts. One of them is quite literally satanic, and the other one is releasing humanity. There's no other way around it. Freedom Force Battalion 2 is a good channel too. Okay, cool. Marxists do have a plan, but we are going to counter the plan. Vatican equals a bugger HQ. Well, yeah, that I wouldn't be surprised. Black Spring, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. All right, so just do not show up at these armed protests that the FBI are trying to encourage. They're not warning us about it. They're trying to give an idea to people so that they can set them up. We can't play into this crap, but let the president do his thing. And believe me, if we have to step out and save this country, we don't need somebody else to tell us. We'll know. What do they seek is genetically constitution, evolution, and production, and the dumbing down of the original people to allow this to happen, which is, in fact, will bring about more than 1,000 years of dark age. But if we get it done our way, it brings 1,000 years of peace. So with this fight between good and evil they're not going to just roll over. So there's a process that has to be done. Yeah, 12B, I'm glad I could do it for you, man. All right, so I'm going to let it go there. Disney Gear just followed. How are you? Thank you. Yeah, that thing is a trap. Don't listen to the FBI. Stay the hell away from the capitals. Let the military do what they have to do, because their operations are moving forward, and the cabal literally wants the Patriots to be in their way. So don't fall for this crap. Anyway, let's wait and see if the president comes on in an hour, and we'll see what comes up after that. But otherwise, I am going to let y'all go. So y'all stay in the fight.